Alright, so I'm doing a video response to dannyscam's question on where he should buy oxygen acetylene equipment and what have you. Before I would buy anything, in fact, years ago I bought a book. It's by Richard Finch. It's called The Welder's Handbook, and you know, it's nothing exciting, but it is, like I said, it's a complete guide to MIG, TIG, arc, and acetylene welding. And again, it's by Richard Finch. What did I pay for it? I paid $17.95. So it covers everything. It's a basic guide to get you started. And I found it just, and I still use it. I got little tabs and stuff here. So, you know, less than 20 bucks, you've got a real good guide to get you started. He mentions, you know, the benefits of owning and renting oxygen acetylene tanks, different types of equipment, how to get it started, just the basics. And I didn't know how to weld at all. Before I went out and bought any equipment, this is what I bought. Bought the Concoa set of torches, and that's synonymous. I think they bought out Airco, so that's the set I have, is Concoa. But I learned to weld with the gas and with the oxygen acetylene, as well as to cut, and also learned to braze with it. So Richard Finch also mentions in here that if he could only have one set, or one tool to weld with, that he would have the oxygen and the acetylene. So it's slow, but it's clean and strong. So you can, with the oxygen and acetylene, you can weld, you can heat, you can manipulate and bend metal, braze, cut. As far as the prices go, it varies from place to place. I actually bought my tanks about 10 years ago for $200. But when I moved from New York, I had to leave those with my father. Now I'm in Virginia, and I know that I can buy the tanks again at Tractor Supply. I want to say they're like a 80 CFM? Well, they're like 80 something tanks. They're like hip high, like 3-4 feet tall tanks. And they want $500 for the pair. And I don't use them that often, so, but I still want to have them again, because even when you're working on a car, if you get a stubborn nut or bolt that won't come out, you want to heat it up to back it out. Another reason to have it. But before I go and buy any torches or anything, I buy this book, spend the money and read it, and keep it on the shelf and use it. So that's kind of my 2 cents for Danny. I hope that helps you out some. I read the whole book, then I did a little research, and it was really worth the money. I saved you a lot of aggravation. I bought the new stuff because I didn't want to play around. I wanted a good set to last for a long time. And my neighbor at the time was a professional welder for GM, and he recommended the Airco brand, but they're out of business. So, like I said, I have a Concoa, but Harris is a good brand. There's several other ones that out there that I can't think of. But used stuff would be okay. But you know, as far as, it's going to come down to the tanks. The real money is in the tanks. You know, you can buy a good set of torches and the hoses cheap enough, but the real money is in the tanks. So you don't want to buy, I know that you don't want to buy some tanks that you can't get refilled. That makes no sense. So there's local welding shops that you can call and get their prices. I was surprised to learn here that Tractor Supply will actually, you know, sell the tanks. So you you don't take the tanks and they get refilled. You take them and exchange them, and they give you another set of tanks. They don't fill them on site. So, you know, the welder shops are going to be able to give you really good advice. The old place that I went to was in Lockport, and you know, they were always really nice. Sometimes they give me free welding rod and stuff like that. Always free advice. You know, you're going in there and patronizing them, and they would give their 2 cents and advise you what to buy or not to buy. It was kind of nice. So if nothing else, I think it might be worth the trip to a good reputable shop that sells welding supplies. What's cool about this book too is not just, you know, the oxygen acetylene, but you've got the MIG, TIG, and the arc welding. So I learned how to stick weld with this book as well. So, anyways, good investment. I like Mr. Finch here. There's no bullshit or complicated jargon. It's just what you need to know to get going and get in there and start welding, doing some basic stuff. And you know, if you want to get certified, and you know, you're going to have to go to school for that. But you just want to teach yourself how to weld. That's a good book. That's my 2 cents, Danny. Hope it helps.